from Taiwan, I'm Jeremy Olivier with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's manufacturing sector is among those expected to be hardest hit by the recently announced 20% U.S. tariffs on most Taiwanese goods. The Economy Ministry estimates that production for Taiwan's mold and plastics makers will decrease by around 5% this year, while machine tool output could drop by over 3 percentage points. Taiwan's food and beverage industry may also be affected, with production forecast to fall by over 1 percentage point. And industry representatives say they are already feeling the effects.
有一批差不多4到5个货柜要到美国去，也因为这个关税的这样的一个因素啊，所以就变成说停下来。
President Lai Ching-te says the 20% tariff rate is temporary and that Taiwan is negotiating a better deal with the U.S. With those tariffs set to take effect next week, President Lai has enacted an economic relief bill that includes cash handouts of over $300 per person. The bill was passed by the legislature in July. It allows the government to allocate billions of U.S. dollars to strengthen Taiwan's security infrastructure and provide relief to industries affected by the tariffs. President Lai has ordered that the cash handouts be paid by the end of October. Taiwan's cabinet has called the opposition-backed payments unconstitutional and says it plans to have them reviewed by the country's top court. The latest government figures on Taiwan's gender income gap show men earned 1.57 times as much as women in 2023, down from 1.6 times the year before. Izzy Wells spoke to the Secretary General of the Awakening Foundation, Qin Yurong, to find out what this means.
So the Ministry of Finance's latest statistics show that the income gap between men and women in 2023 reached its smallest gap in 3 years. But it's still a huge gap. What can we take away from these numbers?
We can still see a very huge gap exist, and though the government says that this is the lowest in 3 years, but we have to emphasize that 3 years ago, that was when COVID-19 hit Taiwan, and from what we observe, women's jobs are gravely affected by the epidemic during that time. So we can anticipate the gender wage gap will be very large back in that era. So this in 2025, there comes the lowest gender wage gap that we think is normal. And it's natural happened, and it is not affected by national policy. So we think it is still a very huge gap that should be taken care of.
And why is there still such a huge gap? Why is it that a man earns so much more than a woman still in Taiwan?
There are a lot of reasons. For example, men are relatively have more opportunities to get promoted. And once a woman get married or if she has child, then her income will be affected. That still happens in Taiwan. If we compare women with children and women without children, the income of women with children are averagely lower than women without children. So that's one of the reasons. And also when there are, you can say there are separations between professionals. For example, in Taiwan, if you work as an engineer in semiconductor industry, then you have a much more higher pay than other workers that work in service industries. And there is a lot of men concentrate in the semiconductor industry, but women mainly work in service industry.
And given this persistent gap, what would it take for a man and a woman to earn the same? Do you see this happening in your lifetime?
Maybe not in my lifetime. From what we know, the government policy is very important. They have a very important role in shortening the gender wage gap. For example, several European countries are perform much worse than Taiwan 10 years ago, but they are performing better than Taiwan now because they have their policies. But Taiwan still do not have a national level policy to counter the gender wage gap. So we think it is you can say it is a huge problem if you want to achieve gender equality in Taiwan.
That was Qin Yurong, Secretary General of the Awakening Foundation. The U.S. Corporation for Public Broadcasting has announced it will shut down after its federal funding was cut. The nonprofit distributes funding to major news outlets in the U.S. like NPR and PBS, as well as local TV and radio stations across the country. Its closure is expected to hit those local affiliates the hardest, putting some at risk of shutting down. The news comes after the Republican-controlled Congress voted to slash more than $1 billion of the corporation's funding. It's part of efforts to target public media in the U.S. over claims it has a liberal bias. It's the final day of the Wave AI exhibition in Taipei, an event showcasing firms from across the country's artificial intelligence industry. As Chris Gorin reports, it comes amid a national AI push in efforts to create so-called non-red supply chains.
Sense that guidance beyond expectation.
This AI-generated video imagines a Taiwanese city where AI and robotics have been fully integrated into society, a vision shared by some of Taiwan's biggest tech CEOs at a recent AI exhibition.
在硬体上面，台湾有了一个相当杰出的表现。我们相信我们在 AI 的应用上也将会乘风破浪，再一次的展现台湾深入参与的能力。
With a new $3.5 billion AI investment plan, Taiwan aims to supercharge its industry, build a full-stack AI ecosystem, and put local talent on display. Taiwan is trying to show that it's climbing the entire AI value chain, not just making the chips inside. And shows like this, packed with AI-powered startups from robot makers to film studios, are one way to do that. One example is Anchor Film, a production house that shot conventional commercials until a few years ago, when it pivoted to nearly full AI content creation.
然后跟以前学的很多的技能突然要被翻转，或者是说突然被迫要换工具的时候，一定都会有一个阵痛期。可是我们同事们真的都很有才华，就是大家都是眼见到这个趋势势不可挡，那就一起 jump in.
Now they might take a picture of a product, say a medical mask, and use AI to generate the rest. Or take a picture of a person and put them inside a video game.
You win!
While some may feel uneasy about using AI ads, the company says their customers get big-budget visuals without big-budget costs.
比如说像可能粘土动画，或者是说哇这飞天遁地，然后或是比如说像这个案例的这个很豪华的这种3D 动画，或者是360度旋转，这一些就是这些视觉效果都是他以前的预算跟以前的时间买不起的，但是他现在可以运用 AI 的方式得到他以前梦寐以求的一些视觉效果。
Local firms are also breaking into the world of robotics, humanoid and dog alike. One company is making specialized robot dogs for bespoke customers.
For the heavy-duty industrial manufacturers, such like chemistry manufacturers, because they do have a lot of pipe, because most of the pipe used in the manufacture is a 12-inch size, so this dog just fit in there and they can do their job inside the tube.
Taipei has been urging local firms in sensitive sectors, such as the drone industry, to buy parts outside of China and steer clear of Chinese AI models for security reasons. Officials call the strategy a non-red supply chain, and this company says its robots are a part of it.
Oh yeah, definitely, because this dog is 100% made by Taiwan, and we don't use the open source code, something like that. We create everything by ourselves, so we have been approved. We are not red supply chain.
With continued investment in the local ecosystem and innovative enterprises, the message is clear. Taiwan aims to be a creator, not just a supplier, in the global AI economy. Hank Xu and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
Over the past decade, 30 firefighters have died in the line of duty in Taiwan. To better protect these first responders, robots are being deployed across the country. Our reporter Sandy Chi looks at how these robots help keep first responders safe in hazardous situations.
When the alarms sound, firefighters spring into action, racing against time and sometimes into burning buildings, putting their lives at risk to keep the public safe. But now new technology is helping take on some of the most dangerous tasks.
可以代替我们就是来从事一些比方说像一个近距离必须要救援的一个灾害现场，我们可以先利用我们的救灾机器人，先到达现场，先去了解状况，然后以方便我们后续看说要调派什么样的救灾器材，或是要怎么样编组我们的救灾人员，这都有助于我们在救灾的过程中会比较完善。
These robots entered service in 2023. The same year, 4 first responders died in a factory fire in southern Taiwan.
我们就开始在考虑，是不是因为应该要加一些救灾机器人进来做辅助，可以造成消防人员尽量零伤害、零死亡，有效的帮助我们消防人员进行前部的勘察动作。
The robots have sensors to spot risky situations before firefighters enter.
像我身后的这一台，它有搭配热显像仪，还有搭配气体探测器。那它可以先行的先去到达现场，然后来面对高温以及易爆的现场，或者是有毒或是缺氧的环境，让现场的资讯能够先 pass 到我们的控制台，然后来回报给救灾指挥官，可以大大的来提升我们的救灾的安全保障以及效率。
Earlier this year, a chemical fire in Chiayi destroyed a firefighting robot, a loss that in different circumstances could have been a firefighter's life. And fire officials say Taiwan's many factories and makeshift buildings are hazards that make it dangerous for firefighters.
铁皮屋火灾最危险就是它的热效能热辐射，那只要一发生火灾，铁皮就会坍塌这时候如果有消防救灾机器人的话，它对我们来说是一个很大的帮助。
And now, more than 140 of these robots are working across Taiwan, most of them in New Taipei and Kaohsiung, where many factories pose a fire hazard. Still, these robots have limitations.
以这台电动驱动的机器人来说，基本上只要是蓄电池，大家都知道就是会有续航力的问题，所以后续未来可以朝向说可能是电量、电力的扩充，又或者是像我们充电时间的缩短，这都有助于说后续我们救灾机器人可以再次的投入到我们的救灾现场。
加工腿。In the years since their introduction, these robots have proven their usefulness. And with improvements on the way, Taiwan's first responders will soon have even better tools as they work to put out fires and save lives. Chris Ma, Patrick Chen, Alec MacDonald, and Sunny Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, take a look at this Egyptian wrestler who pulled a chain of 20 private cars in an attempt to break a Guinness World Record. And we wish him all the best. I'm Jeremy Olivier. Take care and see you next time.
Thank you for sharing our passion for food and Taiwan. Veggie Island explores the vibrant world of plant-based cuisine.
Wow, this is amazing.
While Taiwan on the Rocks uncovers the stories and craftsmanship behind every sip.
Have you ever tried Taiwanese beer?
Are you ready to taste even more of Taiwan?
In the face of adversity, the power of truth.
A roadmap for a just and open world, charted by the freest country in Asia.
Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
TaiwanPlus News, a voice of freedom in Asia.